Welcome back, guys, to the Queen of TV channel. Before we get into our intro, you already know, let's start our three things off. One, please watch to the very end and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Second, there is cursing and profanity in this. If that's not your cup of tea, this is not the channel for you. And last but not least, I will be giving my honest opinion about how I feel about the episode and on the show in general. Without further ado, into our intro. I am your host, everyone, the Queen herself. Hello. You are the prince and princesses of the channel. You're either a subscriber or you're just someone that viewed the video. Today we'll be talking about H2O Season 1, Episode 8, The Denman Affair. The episode starts off with Lewis explaining to the girls that a famous scientist, a marine biologist, is coming to the Gulf Coast and he wants to work for her research. He has sent her over 100 messages and he is very excited that she's coming there because he is very intrigued with her work and wants to actually get a job there. The girls are not fully listening to him because they don't care about science, but once he feels down about it, they're like, okay, Lewis, what's going on? The moment he explains everything about this woman and what she wants to do here, basically discover stuff about the animals, the wildlife. She's even going to be working at the marine park where Cleo is. The girls do not like the idea because she is a scientist and they don't want Lewis getting too close to her because they're afraid that she might get suspicious of everything. Lewis tells them that they can trust him and he's able to convince Cleo to take him back there to meet Dr. Denman. They go to her lab and they see all this equipment, and Cleo, being a regular teenage girl, is wondering what this woman could possibly look like. And she assumes that she's probably old and wrinkly because she spends so much time in the water. Well, they meet Dr. Denman, and she is a chick out of Baywatch, basically. Very beautiful, hot, sexy, and Lewis becomes infatuated with her. He gets a little crush. Cleo can tell by the look on his face that he is interested in her, and obviously Cleo finds it gross because, bear in mind you, Lewis is like 15 or 16 at this point, and this lady is in her 30s. So, yeah. Lewis is very excited to meet her. She brings up the messages that he sent her, and he is quick to want to get a job there. She does shut that down completely, but she allows him to work there and help clean up. He wants to get close to her research and, see how everything is. Once he lets Cleo, Emma, and Rikki know that the best way for him to know more stuff about how to cure them as mermaids, he would need a sample from them to use in her laboratory. Obviously, they do not like the idea and do not believe that he should do this. But he reassures them that everything is going to be fine. Cleo willingly gives him a toenail clipping, which he looks at the laboratory. Before he has a chance to actually get a good look at it, he is caught by Dr. Denman. After having a conversation with her, Lewis is quick to leave, but he forgets to bring the sample. She has a look at it herself and she sees a transformation happens with the toenail. When Lewis realizes that he had left the sample, he immediately comes right back. And Dr. Denman tells him that yes, she had a look at it. He asks for the sample back and she gives it back to him. So all is well. All is not well. She did not give him the sample back and she still has it. Lewis tells the girls what had happened. They obviously are upset because she's looked at it. but he doesn't know how much she has seen. He rest assures the girls that everything is fine. They do not trust Dr. Denham whatsoever, to the point where they follow her and Lewis. They see that she is swimming really close to where Mako Island is. So they try to keep an eye on the both of them to ensure that she doesn't get there. Obviously, Lewis sees them and he's very upset and he confronts them. They have an issue with Lewis getting close to this scientist, to the point where they have a big fight about it. Lewis says that Dr. Denham is way more mature than the three of them and leaves upset, which obviously bothers Cleo because it's like Lewis fully believes into this woman's ideas than he does his own friends. So Cleo decides to sneak into the laboratory where she finds out that Dr. Denham has done research upon research about the slide and that she did not give back the toenail clipping. Before Cleo can look at more and possibly get some evidence, she ends up getting caught by one of the security guards and she has to leave. Her job is been threatened, and if she's caught there again, she could lose her job. She goes to Juice Snack Cafe where she tells Rikki, Emma, and Lewis what she found. Lewis, yet again, does not believe her and trusts Dr. Denham. He literally trusts a 30-year-old woman he's only known for a few days over someone he's known since 5 years old. But I digress. Obviously, the girls can tell that Lewis is playing Romeo here and he has rose colored glasses on. Lewis is upset that they snooped and he leaves. Emma says the three of them have to figure something out about this lady and get this slide back. Cleo says that her and Rikki are on their own because if she gets caught again, she's going to lose her job. They go to her laboratory and they catch Lewis in the middle of a conversation with Dr. Denham. He confronts her about keeping the slide or whatever because of the information that Cleo told him. Well, she admits to it. This is when the realization to Lewis hits that everything that Cleo and them tried to warn him about ended up being true. Before this even happened, she had offered Lewis a job to go with her to travel the world. He tells Cleo this because even after the insults he hurls at them, she's still his friend. And she's obviously sad to see him go, but she does ask him a good question. Is there any reason for him to stay here? He says it's not. So she lets him go ahead and go. And she leaves. Obviously, Lewis does feel bad because he could have just told Cleo that she would be a reason for him to stay, but he wants to chase his dreams. Now, all that's come to a screeching halt now that he realized that Dr. Denham is that kind of scientist and that she is willing to exploit this DNA that he accidentally gave to her as a way of discovering more about the secret it holds, putting Cleo, Emma, and Rikki at risk. Lewis plays along as if he believes what she is telling him. When Rikki and Emma tell this to Cleo, Cleo refuses to believe that Lewis will actually go with her. This obviously makes Rikki snap on the Cleo, and tells her that she has to face the facts. Well, Cleo doesn't listen. She wants to go and stop Lewis and talk to him. They're too late because the boat leaves. Hold on one second. I had to get the dog out of here. I'm sorry. But back to what we were talking about. They obviously are too late. The boat has gone off the shore and they did not make it in time, or so they think. Lewis shows up behind them and tells them that he did not fall for it and he actually erased all her research. Cleo is glad, and Emma and Rikki were proven wrong, so all's well that ends well. We do get an awkward moment where Cleo and Lewis try to hug, but instead weirdly high five. And the episode ends there. So let's go into my review. What the absolute fuck, Lewis? Okay, let me be clear here. I am full aware that H2O is like every other TV show. The fandom of H2O Just Add Water has fans who will blindly support a lot of characters. But there are 3 characters that the fandom will not blindly support. And that's Cleo, Emma, and Rikki. They continuously shit on them 3 characters. And it's mostly due to the fact that they are diehard fans of Lewis. Well, here's my thing. This episode is one of many that people use to reference how ungrateful the girls are for his help. I am going to make a separate video about that because I want to know what the fuck kind of help are y'all talking about? Defy help. Because from what I've seen so far, all Lewis is doing research, and that's only happened like literally 4 times, and we're on the 8th episode. And let me just point something out. Lewis mentions at the beginning of this episode that he's trying to cure the girls, as if them being mermaids is a bad thing. I understand that yes, they're normal teenagers and they deserve a normal teenage life. But the girls do not seem like they want to cure themselves of being mermaids. They have come to terms with it. Well, kinda. But they've accepted it. I think how Lewis is looking at this is that he's looking at the situation as at a logical standpoint that the girls need to be cured as a form of helping them. That is not helping them. That's telling them that they can never live a normal life because they're mermaids. That's fucked up. But worst of all is that everyone thinks that they're ungrateful because they got upset at Lewis for trusting Dr. Denman over them and treating him like an enemy. Give me what the fuck all of you fans are smoking. What are y'all talking about? Like, do y'all even watch these episodes? He literally just met this woman. It's clear and obvious that he has a fucking crush on her. If you did not realize that, watch it again. Literally in the episode, she calls him and he's gushing about it. Talking all sweetly to her and saying that the reason why she gave him this job is because of his scientific charm. As if it's like a flex he's giving off that she gave him the job because of his looks and how he speaks to her, which is very weird and cringe. Not to mention, the girls are not mad at him because they're not grateful for his help. They are mad at him because it is clearly obvious that this woman is a dangerous scientist that could exploit them and put them at risk. And instead of listening to them, he's completely treating them like they're being unreasonable. This is basically a form of fucking gaslighting, where not men but women do this too, so it's both of y'all, where when someone is telling y'all something is wrong, you're treating it like they are being fucking dramatic. They're not being dramatic because they end up being right in the entire situation when she finally admits that yes, she's exploiting this idea of his that he found and she wants to know more about it. But we're supposed to think, right, well, the fans, not me, that the girls are being unreasonable. How is Rikki and Emma being unreasonable? Originally, yes, I was like, yeah, they did not want to tell Lewis. They literally only told him because Cleo got caught out in episode 2 in her mermaid tail right in front of him. Cleo was literally the only person that wanted to tell Lewis the secret. It is understandable why the girls would not want to tell Lewis the secret because they didn't trust nobody, regardless if they were friends or family. That is the only reason why Lewis even knows the secret to begin with, is because of Cleo. Now, in this episode, Lewis has to prove that he is actually trustworthy. Do you not see me doing something? You have a problem. You know, go away. Shut my door. Be right back. Sorry for the interruptions. Back to basics. Lewis is trusting this stranger, right? He does not know her. He knows of her, but he does not know her. She is, without a doubt, obviously aware that Lewis is a dumb teenager. He'll believe anything she tells him. So, of course, she lied to him about the slide because she knows that he won't give it to her, so she steals it. Lewis, of course, obviously has his feelings hurt about the fact that this person that he thought he could trust actually proved to him that they just can't just absentmindedly trust everybody. Also, I feel like in this episode, like all others, no one really apologizes. I feel like Lewis owes the three of them apology just as much as fans think that the girls owe him an apology for thinking that he would actually put the secret at risk. But Cleo is not in that category because the fandom does not give Cleo no credit for actually believing that Lewis would not put the secret at risk. They all just group her in there with Emma and Rikki as if she does not have her own opinions and thoughts. Cleo kept believing in Lewis even to the very end when it was clear he would not believe them. And it hurts me that Lewis would put more faith and trust in this scientist than Cleo. She's the one he's known the longest. So it's very heartbreaking and very telling of what kind of relationship they would have if the two of them dated. The fact that Lewis cannot fully trust Lewis is very telling. Yes, Lewis had his moment of weakness and he made a mistake. But other than that, Lewis did put the secret at risk. I understand everybody's going to say, "Oh, it was an accident, it was a mistake." He was not intentionally trying to get the secret exposed, like cut him some slack. No. So that is what it is. With that being said, that's all I got for you guys today. I really hope everybody understand my point of view on this situation. Lewis is at fault for this. The girls are not wrong for being upset. And they're not upset with him. They're upset about the fact that he refuses to see what Dr. Denham is doing, and that is manipulating him. But, who isn't easily manipulated by somebody? But we'll give Lewis this one pass because, like Cleo said, he would not purposely put the secret at risk. He just was so caught up with him being next to his idol that he assumed that she was someone he could trust. but I believe it's a life lesson. Sadly, Lewis does not learn this lesson fully. He understands he was wrong, but he has not learned his lesson, which we'll see going forward in the next season. But that's all I got for you guys today. So hope you have a blessed day and have a wonderful day. If no one has told you this today, I'm telling you today. I love you, and I will see you guys in the next video. But as you already know, this is not the last time we'll see each other. Goodbye, guys.